Hello. So I just wanted to create this little chatty videos about books I've been reading. So these are the books I've read since the start of the year. To be honest, I wasn't reading much from January to June just because I was all over the place. I did a lot of work and I also did a lot of traveling, which I'm so grateful for. But nangyayari is hindi ako nakapagbasa ng books during those months, but whatever. So I just want to talk about. So this is the book that I read in January. I'm not even sure if you could call this a book because this is Sandali by Mikey Jimenez and Mikey Marchan. So these are comics, collection of comics that depict like typical Filipino situations, typical Filipino life, specifically in Metro Manila. So I really enjoy this one. I tried to diversify my reading format in January just so I can read more. And this one really did it for me. It did not cure my reading slump, but I did enjoy it. So, ayun. I think ang favorite ko dito ay actually don't remember. I think itong Cosplaya Hata. Favorite ko siya. And then, Attachment. Actually, actually lahat sila maganda eh. Pero yun. I highly recommend this one. I got this in MIBF last year. In February, I read Bad Animals by Sarah Bronstein. I hope I'm saying her name correct. I'm sorry if I'm not saying it correctly, but medyo nalimutan ko na yung premise nitong libro nito. But I think if I remember correctly, this is about a librarian. I think she works at a library and then she got laid off. Pero her favorite author will give a talk sa library. Kaso nga, na-lay off siya because of this thing. I don't want to spoil it. So, ayun. Like, what will she do para maka-interact niya yung favorite author niya? It's very interesting. I think I rated it 4 stars. And again, I only read one book in Feb also. But then after that, March, I read Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Of course, I had to read this one. So good. Parang ang ganda na nga ng Hunger Games, pero mas pinaganda niya pa yung mundo ng Hunger Games dito sa book na to. And of course, sobrang sakit din nung nangyari. And I just can't wait to see how will this all play out in the movie. I'm seated, I'm waiting for it. And from the casting, sobrang ganda ng casting. So very excited for this one. That's it. This is the only book I read in March. And also, I'm not sure kung nung edition to. Is this the UK edition? I think UK edition to. I kinda regret na hindi US edition yung nabili ko kasi US edition yung ano bang book yun? Yung isa pang book ng Hunger Games. Ballads, Songbirds and Snakes. Tama ba? US edition yung ano ko. So, hindi sila magka-match ng height. But this one, though, is so beautiful. Diba? Hindi naman. Dahil ang ganda niya. Right? So pretty! So, ayun. Sobrang ganda talaga. Like, if you haven't been, if you didn't grow up reading the Hunger Games, don't be discouraged. Read it right now because it's still so relevant. Next one that I read is Mayday Eve and Other Stories by Nick Joaquin. I have a physical copy, but I just can't find it now. Pero I read Mayday Eve when I was in college, and I think buong klase namin nagustuhan siya. But then I read this one. Ang nagustuhan ko is the other story inside this. I forgot the title. Guardia de Honor. Yung favorite ko dito sa collection ng short stories na to. And growing up, I used to read like historical fiction set during World War II pero set in Europe. I never I wasn't able to read stories set in the Philippines during the time frame because I didn't know or I didn't have access to those kinds of books. So this one reminded me that I need to read more Philippine literature. So good. And then after that, I read Nine Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. I think I read this over the course of 1 to 2 months, and it was okay. Okay lang siya. Actually, wala lang. Sakto lang siya. Not good, not bad.
Not bad, but not good.
Yeah.
Then I read If He Had Been With Me. I finally got a physical copy last year. And sobrang happy ako no, nung nakabili ako ng physical copy because this was one of my favorite books when I was a teenager. Like, sobrang favorite ko to. I rated it 5 stars, but then when I read it as an adult, hindi ko na siya nagustuhan. Obviously, like, the writing and the story is so young adult, which is not bad. Okay? I appreciated it when I was younger, diba? Pero reading it, I was still entertained though. So, maganda pa rin naman siya. It's just that current me did not appreciate it as much as teenager me did. Still good though. So, in June, I read 2 books. This one, Great BBL by Emily Henry. So, sobrang excited ako dito. I mean, every year naman excited ako for Emily Henry books. But this one, especially because inspired siya ng kanta ni Taylor Swift, The Great American Dynasty, right? So, I had great hopes because I really love Fanny Story, the one that was released in 2024. I think parang yun yung favorite Emily Henry ko na ata. But this one, medyo, I still enjoyed it. Pero parang hindi siya yung usual na Emily Henry. It was not giving the vibes ng usual Emily Henry book. Maybe because there are like 2 stories, not even 2. There are like 3, 4 stories within this book. Like yung story ni main girl, si main guy, which, to be honest, di naman natin siya masyadong nakilala. And then, the story nung woman, which is si, Margaret. Yung story niya. And then, like, yung pinaka-history din ng pamilya ni Margaret. So, ang daming nangyari. Ayun lang, parang ang daming nangyari, but at the same time, di ako masyadong interested sa mga nangyari. Like, wala akong pake sa history ni Margaret or ng family niya. Sana nag-focus na lang kay Margaret. Ayun. But still, I enjoyed it. May kilig moments pa din naman talaga. Pero kung i-compare sa past Emily Henry books, like, wala. And then, the last book I read in June is Snow Country by Yasunari Kawabata. So this one is a classic Japanese novel. I think this is the first time I read a classic Japanese novel, and I recommend it because obviously Nobel Prize winner for literature to. Like, sino ba naman ako para hindi ko siya i-recommend. But there were just some things that I noticed na paisip ako. I'm not sure if I want to say it now, but I've said it to some of my friends in real life conversations, some things that I noticed na kaya pala like yung history ba dito sa book na to, it really reflects their current society. So it was just enlightening for me, and yeah, maganda siyang pang-enlighten na kaya pala ganun. So very atmospheric. Siguro ang favorite ko dito yung like opening scene because it took place inside the train and the main character was like looking outside the mountains and all. Tapos naalala ko yung Hakone trip ko last March in Japan. So, I really like that. Sobrang ganda ng writing. Highly recommend it. I will check out his other books and maybe I will read this again in the future to see if I like it more. So those are the books I read from January to June. I think it was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I only read 8 books in the span of 6 months. And to put it into reference, I have read 5 books na this July. So medyo naganahan ako magbasa this July. And yeah, I'll show you what I read this July after this month ends. And thank you. I hope you like this chatty video and let me know what you've read the past 6 months.